All right, so I believe we are live. Just want to make sure we are. Talk about some NIO as we have some price movement going on right now. I just want to verify that I'm live. Give me 1 second here. Haven't done this on this channel in a very long time, so let's see where we are. All right, looks like we are live. Okay. All right, so NIO um is been more volatile than it normally is this morning, and we're going to break down what's going on here. So, right off the bat, this morning I looked and I saw that NIO had dropped down to $4.72, which was around the one of the areas we talked about yesterday that it could potentially come back to. But it looked like at that point it was bought up pretty quickly. Okay. So here's what's going on. There's many different things going on, but here's what's going on. So NIO is recalling hundreds of thousands of electric vehicles due to software issues that may impact driving safety. So this is why we saw that initial sell off, uh, which was again another opportunity to get some shares. And so it says the company is recalling 246,229 ES8s, ES6, and EC6 EVs produced between March 16th of 2018 and January 16th of 2023. Now, according to an announcement published today on China's State Administration for Market Regulation website, so, due to the software issues, some vehicles may experience temporary blackouts on the dashboard and central display under specific conditions. Now, this could prevent drivers from accessing essential vehicle information and functions such as speed data, fault alerts, and defrost demist compatibilities posing safety risks. Now, I would say that those are obviously uh, posed to a risk, right? Now, NIO will provide free over the air, also known as OTA software updates to affected vehicles, upgrading them to Aspen 3.5.6, older 2.1.0, or newer version. Now, for vehicles unable to receive the OTA update, NIO will contact users through its service centers to implement the recall and implement the safety risk. Now, vehicles that have already received the optimized software update do not require this recall. Now, Aspen is the software architecture for NIO's NT 1.0 platform models, utilizing the Mobile IQ4 smart driving chip. Okay. So overall, this is what's going on. I can go on and on about that, but I wanted to let you know what was going on. And let's go ahead and dive a little bit deeper into the stock action, right? So we can see right now we're sitting at 492, which was near one of our other levels we talked about. We talked about 490 on the video yesterday. Okay. So let's make sure we've got a line here for us because these are the levels we're looking at for those of you who are trading. Now, for me, I trade NIO, and I've been telling you guys this for quite some time. I trade it if there is some volatility, and I also um obviously I invest in it. So let's go ahead and get this line in here. Where is it? There we go. Horizontal line. That's what we're looking for. All right. So again, that's about 490. So really on the day, even though we had that news that came out, I still want to see us close at as close to $5 as possible. Right now, it looks like it's making its way back up. So we want to see if we can regain some strength here. Now, if we have a pullback to about 484 at that particular point, I'll be looking to make a trade. But as of right now, we're sitting at 492. Now again, this thing got as low as 473 this morning. So going from like $5.10 from the close on Friday all the way down to $4.73. I mean, that's a pretty nice dip. So it happened very quickly. So we understand and know that the speed in which it recovered, people know what's going on with this stock. People know that it's about time for this thing to kind of go to prices that it needs to be at, right? We know that there's supposed to be profitability on the table for the next quarter, which will be confirmed for sure next month. They're saying that it's a given, but we want to make sure we can't just go based off of the optics. Okay, so what else is going on with NIO? So NIO adds 1,000 swap stations as shares jump on profit milestone. So this was a part of the initial pop this morning before the news about the recall came out. So let's go ahead and dive into that. It says NIO's network now includes 3,729 swap stations, so drivers can replace a drained battery with a charged one. This thing is popping up things. Uh, 1 second here. So yeah, this thing can charge in about 3 minutes. Now the process is also mostly automatic, which makes it simple for daily use. As a result, NIO continues to invest heavily in this model. So even as the charging speeds improve across the EV market. Now, meanwhile, on Friday, NIO shares rose a significant 7.23%, closing at $5.04. So we already know that. Okay. But to dive a little bit deeper on this 1,000 swap station that shares jump on profit. So NIO is adding 1,000 more battery swap stations in 2026. So this comes as the company marks its 100 millionth battery swap, highlighting how widely the service is being used in China. Now, NIO said the milestone proves swapping has become a real option for EV drivers. CEO William Lee said the system has been fully accepted as a major option for charging and replenishing energy for electric cars in China. Okay, so I think that news alone is kind of what's helping things balance back out to where the price action should be, which is obviously higher than this. I understand that a recall is a big deal. I get that. It presents safety issues. Most companies that manufacture cars go through that, right? So also let's talk about more news on NIO. So it's a lot going on. So there's another article. It says the NIO phone appears to be not entirely dead, despite having been quiet for over a year. So it says NIO shared a video of Weibo Monday demonstrating that the NIO phone equipped with the latest software can control the opening and closing of the front and trunk on the third generation ES8 SUV and the ET9 sedan without unlocking the phone. This marks the industry's first smart scenario based vehicle control feature, enabling users to trigger automatic opening, closing of the front and rear compartments by standing near or shaking their phone in various scenarios. Now, the Chinese electric vehicle maker said. So the feature is based on NIO's in-house developed NIO Link protocol stack, enabling deep smartphone integration and cross-device intelligent connectivity, the company said. Now, by integrating UWB high precision positioning with smartphone motion sensor fusion algorithms, the system anticipates user intent and delivers natural responses, NIO explained. So it kind of sounds like we got a little bit of AI going in there. So they can kind of highlight and expand on the use of AI, maybe, I think this would really give the company even more value. But I understand they want to tread lightly until they can fully implement it all the way. I get that. As I say, it's currently all NIO phone models support this functionality. NIO said, adding that more intelligent vehicle control interactions will follow. This marks NIO's first announcement of a new feature for the NIO phone since rolling out the Sky UI 2.3.1 system update in late January of 2025. Okay. So, for those of you that don't know, NIO launched this phone back in September 21st of 2023, which was aimed to deliver enhanced interaction experiences through system level integrations between smartphones and its vehicles. Obviously, that's going to be tailored towards NIO, right? So we got a lot going on with NIO on today, and this is why I wanted to come live. So if you guys want me to come live talking about NIO a little more, let me know in the comments. I know I'm struggling a little bit on this stream, but we'll get there. You guys know I don't really go live much. Uh, Also, as I'm trying to work my way back into getting everything up and running on this channel, now that the kids have gotten bigger and they're not too much of a distraction. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, guys. It's tough running these channels with kids that are 2, 5 years old. Also got a 11-year old and a 13-year old. They're a little bit, obviously more self-sufficient, but those little ones, man, they are a lot to kind of deal with at times. So again, now that they're about to be 3 and 6, things are getting a lot better. I'll tell you that. Okay. So now I'm trying to see if I can get into this chat here to maybe talk to some of you guys. So all right, so we got the chat open. All right. So right now we're sitting at $4.89 and not much volume going on right now, but look at that volume right now. Looks like we had about 16.2 million trades, and I bet most of that happened down here. So a lot of buying, I'm assuming, was happened up in this area here. So even if we hover here, where we can see the biggest candle, so at that particular point, we were already at nearly 11 million trades. So that's where the bulk of the trades have gone. And so we've been open about nearly an hour now, and since that point, we've added on maybe another four-ish million trades. So there's some nice price activity going on here. I don't see any place for me to hop in on this yet, but we'll give it a little bit more time and see what's gonna happen from here. Now, what I want to know from you guys, if you're listening, is what's your outlook on NIO for the rest of this year, especially as we talk about the company being profitable, right? I think that's exciting news for a lot of investors. We waited a very long time for this company to be profitable, and so to hear any kind of news regarding profitability with NIO is going to be a game changer, right? Now, here's what I'll have to say about this. We know at some particular point with profitability, this thing is going to take off, right? I know a lot of you like to say going to the moon, right? That's a thing that people say. But if we bring this thing out to the 1 week, well, let's bring it out to the 1 month. Look how high up this thing had gotten to one point. So at one point, this thing got to $66 and it looks like 99 cents. So we're gonna do a line here. So we know that the potential is at least there. Okay, but there are some key levels we need to hit before we even get there. And I'm kind of drawing them out according to history here. I think I'm gonna go here for that one. and then we'll do another one so we can kind of look at. Yeah, we got some history up in there, but I think I'm gonna go a little bit lower. So to the upside, we know that if we can, let me put one more. I would say if we can reach about here, about $30-ish, $31, I think we can quickly go to 40, 50, 60, and even higher than that. So I know a lot of you have given up on NIO, but the crazy thing that I've learned, and I've been investing in trading for a long time, the moment you give up and you start looking elsewhere, you get super emotional about it. Guess what tends to happen? That thing takes off. So, if you're looking into getting rid of your shares and you just don't have the patience anymore, I understand. I get it. I get it. You want to see some price movement. You're tired of things being stagnant. You've had your money sitting in there for a long time, and it seems like nothing is happening. But eventually, it's gonna move, and I think once it starts to move, for a lot of people that don't really know what they're doing as far as trading goes, they're going to be left in the dust. And that's just my personal opinion. Okay. So I'm just drawing out a few more lines so we can kind of look at some levels of support. So yeah, this 21 this dollar here, I think is, I'm not gonna say it's obviously not the end all be all, but I think the $20 mark is kind of that key level that we need to hit in order to go to even higher heights. So we've seen seven before, we've seen eight before, we've seen all these single digit numbers relatively um current, right? So we're tired of that. We're ready to not only touch double digits, but we want to sit there, right? We want to get to the next level. And so I think as the company gets more profitable, I think the sky's gonna be the limit, man. But we gotta be patient. We gotta allow the company to do what they need to do. We gotta allow the numbers to show. We've gotta allow for their profitability to kind of settle in. And then once we get there, things will be moving. Now, I find it interesting. There's a stock that I heard someone mention that wasn't profitable for many, many years. And all it took for that one stock was to be profitable 1 year. They spent a lot of money on advertising. Now, we all understand with NIO that there's regulations and roadblocks that a lot of countries are putting up against a company because of politics. And when I say politics, I'm talking about country to country politics. It's unfortunate that, and I understand that each country wants to get a one up on the next country. So now you've got tariffs, you got extra taxes, which makes getting the vehicles where they need to be so very expensive. And then you've got some countries that won't even allow you to bring certain countries' vehicles into their country at all, right? So from that perspective, it makes things difficult, but it's not the end of the world for NIO. Okay. Now we've seen Hyundai, we've seen Toyota, and we all know that these companies have very big names, they're very established, but if they can do it, I think that, NIO can eventually do it too. And I know a lot of people may see this as being a dreamer, but when you look at the potential of the company and you know what it's capable of, then you gotta stick by it. I mean, you don't have to, but you guys get what I mean. All right, so it looks like the price is starting to go up a little bit. So when you're talking about stocks that are low in price like this, a couple of pennies makes a big impact. So we've seen this thing go from 489 to 492. Hadn't come down to the levels that I'm looking at to make a trade for today. So again, for those of you that may be tuning in, I like to invest buy daily for NIO, but also from time to time, if the volatility is there, I'll go ahead and do some day trades. So now it looks like it's touching 493. Okay. And now maybe if we can get back to about 489 ish, maybe I'll get in and on a couple of shares and see what we can do from there. But I would need a pullback in order for that to happen. So for some of you that may just be hopping in now, we've talked about some of the things that are going on with NIO. We've talked about uh, the the additional 1,000 swap stations that NIO is going to be adding this year. We also talked about the 246,000 cars due for a software issue. So there was a recall there. And we talked about the NIO phone um, not being completely dead, as a lot of people thought that the phone situation was dead. So you got to think about it. If you have a auto business, you manufacture vehicles, wouldn't you want to get the most you can? Wouldn't you want to be as profitable as you can? And so that's the reasoning behind the phone that they have, is because you want to offer, at least offer a phone that everybody can use that have purchased your vehicles, that goes hand in hand with the vehicles that you're selling. It only makes sense, right? Okay. Now, there's something else that came out. So there's an article that says this: NIO ES9 offers up to 620 kilometer range with 102 uh, kilowatt battery pack. So the ES9 essentially gives you 620 kilometer range. I think that's pretty good for an electric vehicle. Okay. So it says this: the NIO upcoming flagship SUV ES9 will offer a range of up to 620 kilometers, according to the latest regulatory filing. The ES9 is equipped with a 102 kilowatt battery pack weighing 545 kilograms, representing an energy density of 187 watts per kilogram, according to a vehicle model catalog eligible for purchase tax reductions released on Monday by China's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology. So the SUV's curb weight is listed as uh, it says a max of 2,915 kilograms with CLTC ranges of 620 to 580 kilometers. Okay. So, I mean, that ES9 looks pretty nice too. Just kind of looking at it. Yeah, that thing, it looks nice. Let's go ahead and see if we can bring up a picture of that. Thing looks nice. Let's see, NIO ES9. Do any of you own a NIO? That's what I want to know. I know a lot of us want to know about the company, but anybody actually purchased the NIO? Okay. Okay, so this is the ET9. No, that's the ES. So we're looking for the ES9, not the ET9. All right, let's see. Hey, let me share my screen here for you guys so you can see what we're looking at here. All right, so window, change the properties. And it looks like the price is going up to $4.93. So it looks like we're having a nice recovery. So for me, I don't just hop straight into these stock plays if nothing's there. So if nothing's there, I'm not gonna worry about it. All right, so let's go back to the products. Let's go all. So we can see the NIO ES8. We what's this? Look at this EP9. Look at that. That's pretty slick too. All right. So this is an ET9. Let's go ahead and check this ET9 out. And yeah, the ET9 is pretty nice, but we want to look at the ES9. I don't think the ES9. Okay, let's check out the ES8 because that's what we have access to looking at now. But the ES8 is looks pretty slick. I mean, the ES9 looks similar to it though. So yeah, the ES9 is scheduled to come out around April 10th. I wish we had a definite answer on when it actually comes out, but it looks like it looks similar to this. So this is your ES8. It's been out for a little bit of time here. I mean, this man, this looks nice though. It's give you the length and width and all of that in millimeters. ES8, pretty slick though. Let's check out. Let me check out that second here. This is the one that caught my eye. I want to take a look at this. This EP9. Look at that. It's kind of like a. I'm not gonna say it kind of reminds me of a Corvette in the sense, but it looks more. It looks more futuristic. I'm interested to see what the inside of that thing looks like. So it says a circuit of the America's autonomous lap record in Austin on February 23rd, 2017. Man, that thing looks nice though. In Germany. Let's see. So let's do this. Let's discover the EP9. So anybody that's looking at this video, do you guys own any NIO? I mean, obviously for me, it's almost impossible to get one because yeah, where I am, yeah, good luck getting a NIO into this country here. Let's go ahead. So I like that color though. I like the color. So max speed is 313 kphs. I don't know what that is. You guys can tell me in the comments. I could convert that, but let's see. Aerodynamics. Yeah, that thing is pretty nice though. All right, let's get back to the stock price and see what's going on here. All right, so now we're at 496. So this thing is the momentum is going back. So I think now if we can break past this area here, $4.98, we could be on our way back to $5. So I'm gonna be honest, I think that it was down shorter than I thought it would. So we're talking a range of like 7-8% today alone when you factor in the pre-market and as low as it got. But hey, look at that recovery. That's a monstrous recovery. So I'm gonna put a line here. So once we get to this point here, this 498-ish area, I'm gonna change the color on it. I'm gonna put this as like a goldish color because this is where a lot of our history is over the last several hours. So either we're gonna break through or we're gonna reverse and go back to testing. I would say probably 493. So again, if we get rejected at 498, we probably would go back to retest 492. So these are the levels that we're looking at right now. These are the critical levels that we're looking at according to the momentum that we have going here. So I'm gonna change the color here. Make that one like a greenish color. All right, so let's see what happens. Do we go ahead and break through 498 and 498, or do we get rejected and come back here? So the way things are looking now, if we get rejected, I would probably buy a few at 493 to see if we can get a bounce back up. But let's see what happens. So yeah, we're at 497 now. Come on, do something. See what the volume is. Yeah, see the volumes dropped off significantly. So you can see the most volume we've had was at the start, which was about 3 million. Then we dropped off to another 3 million. Now we're for every 5 minutes, because we got the 5 minute chart open, we're getting about nearly 600,000 trades, which is cool. It's all right. It's not a lot, but let's see if we can break through this 498 here. So this is what we're looking at. We got our eye right here. Do we break through or do we touch and then reverse? That's what we're looking at. Do we break through or do we touch and then reverse? $497. Come on, do something. $498. Come on. Are we gonna break through? Or we gonna get rejected? Yeah, it looks like it wants to. I mean, according to this candlestick here, it looks like it wants to keep going up. Yeah, it looks like we gonna break through. Come on, if you're gonna break through, keep going. Come on, keep going. Or reverse, do something. Keep going. All right, guys. Well, I don't want to hold you too long here. We'll probably regain either later today or early tomorrow. But I want to let you guys know what was going on. There's a lot going on with NIO today. So we've seen a ugly sell off early, and now we've pretty much recovered all the way. So let's see if we can end off this day at or near $5. I'll holler at you guys a little bit later. Peace.